Hey y'all, welcome to another YouTube channel. I've got a lot I would like to share, man, and you know, I'm humbled by just waking up, this morning. It's that simple. It really is that simple. The presidential election crap going on, the debates and the yaks and whatnot. You know, I can listen to about 10 seconds of those people up there. Well, yeah, Jeb Bush talking about my daddy, oh my God, man. They sound like a bunch of eighth graders, immature eighth graders. It's just annoying. I can't even listen to it because there's already too much noise in the world for the wrong reasons. We don't need more. We really don't. Um, Trump, Mr. Trump, blah, 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 blah. He's all this and a box of chocolates, and he's going to stand up for the American people and fight to get things back and all that. Well, let me back up a minute. One truth will bring down a mountain of lies. I believe that. I've lived it. It changed my life. It really did. I'm not against anybody. And I'll hopefully be able to get to that somehow. If I get lost, well, it's hard sometimes. There's so much stuff going on in my head. But one thing about Mr. Trump, he has a toupee. He wears a toupee. Period. Well, what's so big deal about that, you might ask? Well, here's the big deal about that. He can't accept himself as being a bald person with no hair. So he has to hide it underneath the toupee. End of story. If he can't accept himself the way he is, he's definitely not going to accept you or I or anyone else as they are. Period. I saw him, I can't remember what interview, what yak session, what bullshit session it was that they were having. But somebody asked a question that it was actually a good question. I don't even remember what the question was. It's irrelevant. It was the actions behind it. I don't care what people say. I don't listen to them. I really don't. I watch what they do, and I try to associate what they do and if their walk and talk lines up, and it just doesn't. He's all talking about I'll fight for the American people to bring back the true democracy. And all right, one truth. This Hispanic gentleman, asked him something regarding maybe the NAFTA trial. I don't know. I don't even know what the current events of the world are. I don't care. I really don't. It's none of my business. But a gentleman asked him something, and he got offended. His face, Donald Trump's face, turned red. And he starts, "What do you mean? What? And the other guy's just plugging along, and he asked it again, and Donald Trump just like, "I'll tell you what I'd do to you," and blah, 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 blah. And the guy kind of bowed up a little bit. And then instead of, I'll tell you what I would have done. I wouldn't do this now, but not too long ago, if somebody had popped off like that at me and I'm in front of all these people and I'm trying to lie to you and he's messing it up, I'm coming down there and we're going to blows, no gloves needed. Best man win. That's how I would have done it. And a lot of say, well, that's wrong. No, it's not. Well, if it is, I'll tell you what's even wronger is for me to run my mouth at somebody when I'm wrong to begin with, and then, true to form of the rich, have somebody else handle my garbage and take it out. He wouldn't even come down there to fight the man that he popped off at. That's the truth. So do you think he's going to fight for you or anybody else in this country? Nope. Period. That's the truth. Watch actions. Words are cheap. They're free, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, words have ruined the world. I don't care about America. This is not our country. Native American peoples were the last people to live in harmonious ways. The lodge, the sweat lodge, they've held that sacred, and I understand. It's awesome. I mean, thank you. They were the last peoples that understood that what was meant by we were placed here in a capacity of dominion over, because they respected and honored everything around them. and in return, everything around them respected and honored them. That's a true democracy. That's a true leadership. When you take care of that thing, and if the smallest thing is harmed or whatever, you feel bad about it. They know it. Trust me on that. If I give everything I can do to take care of the welfare of that which sustains me, it will continue to sustain me. But if I begin to exploit it and take advantage of it and lose my gratitude for what the all that is, the great mystery, God, Vishnu, Varna, whatever you choose to call it, whatever it appears to you is. Do you know what I mean? Whatever you choose to call it. If you don't believe in anything, that's fine too. It really is. It's not about what you believe in. It's about the intentions that come from your heart regarding it. And so it's just the fallacies of the world sicken me, man. They really do. I've been around the world, and I'm not bragging about that. And I've been subjected to some of the really, really bad people in the world, and I've been one of them. Let me clarify that. I'm no better. I am absolutely, positively, 110% probably worse than most people have ever been, or I have been in the past. Truly, I have. And, the thing is that in the true way, in a true unity way, let me just stop. Let me just stop. What if there was no competition in the world? What if? What would that mean? What if there was no hunger? Imagine. Didn't John Lennon write a song about that? Imagine. It's that easy. Just imagine it. And then see what you can do to make that happen. You see, we live in a dualistic, I win, you lose, I win type thing. And if I lose, then I'm going to try to figure out a way I can win next time. It's competitive. It's me against you, period. It's, and it's gotten so bad, the greed and the corporations, big pharma, the military-industrial complex, the coyotes running in downtown Tacoma, people complaining, there's coyotes out here and they're this and that. Well, no shit, motherfucker. You have killed their place. You took their home from them. Where else do they have to go? You see? And you're offended because they're in your backyard eating your cat. Well, shit, I wish they'd eat you, man, because you can't see. I don't really mean that way. Part of me does. But that's the little me. And the bigger me says, no, I hope somehow they'll see why those coyotes are out there. They don't have anywhere else to go. Those homeless people you pass by, you know why they're there? Oh, that's probably drug addicts. Well, you may be absolutely 100% right. They might have an addiction issue. Why do they have that addiction issue? What caused it? Well, they were just whatever. Well, why? What's below and behind that causation that has pushed them to the edge to be right there? It's one word. Love. Period. Everybody's too worried about being competitive and dualistic. What you're going to find, I hope, and pray. I don't pray, my bad. Kidding. What I hope to see is that we as a world will realize that if one of us, just one, is below the level that all else are at, it's our responsibility and duty to bring that person back up to our level. Period. If you walk by them and you look down your nose at that man and that woman right there that smell, they're dirty, you can see the shit on their face because they hadn't bathed in a month. You're like, oh God, whatever. And you got $2 in your purse. You're going to work. You got a sack lunch though, and you don't give them those $2 and that sack lunch. Well, you see, you just missed a blessing. And I'll tell you, I'll take it a step further. That could have been your opportunity to meet an angel. But now, later on, when you get to that valley of the shadow of death, whatever you want to call it. You can call it many different things. But when you get there, that moment is going to come back to you. And you're going to see how you could have helped those people and did not. It's going to become your demon because it's much, much deeper than just that $2 and that sack lunch and those two dirty people right there that you look down your nose at. You'll see how those people are an extension of you. Ahomatakiyase, all my relations. What does that mean? It means I don't care if you have 2 legs, 4 legs, no legs, 26 legs, a half a leg, or wings. I don't care if you hop, crawl, creep, or fly. Everything around you is connected to you. How? You say, no, I'm not connected. I'm black, man. I ain't no way I'm kin to that white folk right there, man. Shit, nigga, get out of my face. You better stop, you, man. You better stop because you are. That is your brother. You see, that color of the skin's put there to test you. Please hear me. It truly is there to test you. If you're against anything, you're wrong. I don't care. If you're Christian and you're against a Muslim, you're wrong. And you will not get the keys to the kingdom. There's a state available right now for everyone in the world. Even Big Pharma, the petro pussies, military industrial complex, and the straight under oath murderers of the United States of America that we call our armed forces. They're hired hitmen, period. Even those. What about a game? What if you just loved one person? What if you just loved one time? What if you just gave that bum a quarter? Well, he just might go get something to drink. Well, that's none of your goddamn business, sweetie. What he does with that money, what's your business is the affairs of your heart, whether you worked on that or not. That's the only business. That's the only business you got. Period. Period. You know what? Believe me, the injustices that I've seen in large corporations and places that say they help people, from treatment centers to the medical field, psychology. Man, I had a stroke a few years back, and I was lost, man. I'd been running amok. I wasn't quite homeless, but I wasn't quite in a home either. And I didn't have no money, and I already knew that they weren't going to do anything for me. But someone was really, really, really concerned that I needed to go to the doctor, and I'm like, there's nothing they can do for me. They're not going to do anything. Well, they kept on and kept on. I didn't go there for me. I went there to help ease this other person, man. And I went in there, and I didn't have any insurance, so I filled out the paperwork. And they came back, and oh man, just right there, 5 minutes. They had me back in the back, taking my blood pressure, and doing the triage. And then I sat there for about 45 minutes. They didn't have a room. And then one came open, they cleaned it and everything, and they said, come on, go with us. We got to go up. We're going to do some, the scans and all that kind of stuff. So I did, and they wanted to do a couple of other things, check a couple other things on me. And so they brought me back down on the gurney and put me right by the doors, the opening and closing doors out in the hall. Everybody going by and kind of looking at me, down at me and stuff like that. I'm just laying there. This experience kind of was the last nail that I needed for the coffin. And I'm watching them, and another room had came open. The other one was clean, and I'm like, okay, cool. I get me a room. It's kind of embarrassing laying out here on this gurney in front of all these people. Well, those 2 rooms stayed open until I left, and I was there another 3.5 hours. Why did I not go in a room? They had one available because I didn't have any money. Period. Guess what? That hospital visit cost me $24,862, and I don't remember the cents because it made none to me. I didn't even get a goddamn room. You see what I mean? I did not even get to go into the little alcove. I'm out in the hallway and it costs that much money. I haven't paid it and I will not. Period. But that's the tyranny. That's the dis-ease, man. That's the money. It's sad. But even as bad as that is, you know what? I'm going to put it to you this way. I can't stand them Bush people. I do not like Jeb. I do not like George. I do not like, even all the way back to Prescott when they're running around with the Rockefellers. I don't care for those types of people because of the intentions of their heart in the past. What you see today is a direct result of those types of individuals' intentions, whatever they may have been. But as bad as I hate them, now there was a time that, well, let's just say I could have concocted 1,000 or 2 ways to have done some really bad things to them until I died and then passed them off to somebody else. That's not in my heart now. You know what I hope? I hope that just my one little bitty thing, will help somebody else not have to lose this game. It is a game, but it's a real one. And the thing about this one is, you don't get another chance. There ain't a redo or a do-over. This is it. And I realized that if I had that intention in my heart towards those people, just in my mind and in my heart that strongly, that something really horrible. Let's say these clouds in the sky, and make no doubt about it, they could jump alive and move lightning fast and engulf everything that you can see and that you can't see instantaneously at the same time, period. End of everything. You don't have to believe me. What if there don't have to be not one loser to any game ever again? What if there's never another hungry baby or a starving dog with mange or anything like that? Man, wouldn't that be cool? Would that not be cool? Let's take it one step further. What if you could love all that negative stuff to death? What if you could love it away just by one action, and that one action would change somebody else, and then that somebody would change somebody else? What if? What if? There ain't no what if about it. It can happen. There could be heaven on earth, period. No losers. Even the bad guys turn into the good guys, and we all work together for the same thing. Don't let anybody fall down. If they fall down, you pick them up. If you have to fall down yourself, you fall down and you pick them back up. Because if you fall down, somebody else picks you up. And then if all 3 are down there, there's 10 that stop to help you. And if you get a little bit too high, well, there's 10 that takes them back down a notch. But it's not done in anger and it's not done maliciously. It's done in unity and love. Unity and love. No teams. One team for the whole world. Guess who the coach is? The all that is. That divine spark. That energy. That thing that holds us all together. You call it God, the great mystery. Don't matter what you call it. It's real. It is there. That's the supreme power. A love that'll make you levitate, like Katy Perry says in Dark Horse. It's here. It's there. It's true. It can be yours too. The key is in your heart. These things, these UFOs flying around that I show you, I've got a theory about those things. If this is the Armageddon or the tribulation or the end times, I don't believe in the fear-mongering. I don't get down like that, man. There's enough of that crap going on, man. It's not the solution. We're addicted to those electromagnetic forces and endorphin reactions within our neurological systems, and they prey on that. They prey on that. Facebook, the whole nine, the media, the news. It's you become addicted. You can get addicted to anger. I was. You can get addicted to a lot of different raging. You talking about rage? You have no idea, man. I'm not a badass by no means, but I was an evil son of a bitch. I was the most miserable man in the world. I firmly believe that that's why, I was able to understand this Lucy in the Sky thing. Because I was evil, man. I was the dirtiest bastard in the world. No shit. And I just gave up. I gave in. I had nothing. Nowhere, no friends, nobody, no love, no nothing. I had nothing for the world, nobody, and fuck it, y'all could all die and go to hell for all I care. And then something happened to me, and I don't even know how to explain that. But these things flying around in the air, if you look at them, they'll have three lights generally in a specific configuration. They're scanning you. They're scanning your heart, your brain waves. There's a certain frequency. This is just a what if now, but they're there. What if it can pick up the resonant frequencies of your heart, because they do emit them? Your blood has a frequency. The blood of the innocents cried out. What's that mean? Well, it means the blood of the innocents cried out. They heard the frequencies. These things can see the frequency. Say the elite or whatever have programmed them or done whatever they need to do to allow them to track or whatever certain individuals with a certain frequency. And when they push that button, they unleash the beasts. And they go through and they just incinerate or lift up and incinerate everybody that is found within that certain tolerance of that frequency of your heart. Check this out. What if the only thing that will change that is you helping somebody else? What if? I mean, military industrial complex, Taurus and all that, and the fated mission and stuff, believe it. Believe that. And don't fear it. Don't fear it, because you don't have to if you help somebody else. If you put a little love in this life, you're going to get more out of it than you'll ever know. You'll ever know. You don't have to read the Bible. You don't have to read the Quran. What? Yeah. No. It's very simple. Love one another. Love thy enemy. And party like there's no end. It's that simple. But you don't have to. You don't have to. And I know I'm rambling, man, but it's hard to take this down, and put it all together, because there's a lot more that I'd like to share, but hey, but thank you for listening to me. If you do, thank you for those that I've learned from. I did something. There was this Luciferian witch. Hey, that's cool, man. To each their own. Whatever she does, she does. I ran across her channel, and she had a few followers, but she was just yak. And the first thing that came to my mind is, motherfucker, man. Even the devil's shit is fucked off. That's bad. When the devil's stuff is corrupt, man, it's bad times, right? Well, but the thing that got me is it was just grating. Victoria, me and my, and all about the big deal about the little I. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, bitch, you need to shut up. You need to blah, 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 blah. And I went off, man. My intentions was right, but my approach was totally wrong. My intentions was to shut her up, or at least to rattle her cage enough to where she would be able to see that she has people listening to her that don't know any better. Period. Younger people, older people, but people that are listening to what she has to say. And she's not leading in the right way. So I, kind of just playing around, turned the camera on and took some stuff. And I'm like, this is the elementals and blah, blah, blah. Now, whatever you say, witch, well, I was wrong. I was wrong for that tactic. And I do apologize. But you see, I was wrong. She has every right to do that now. And she will have to pay for those actions. Not to anybody around here. And all I was trying to do, because as bad as she offended me, I understand why Jesus wept. I understand that. And, you know, and in that understanding, I'm obligated. I am pushed along to try to stop that kind of stuff. And I went about it the wrong way. And I humbly apologize for that, period. Because you see, I only have one ill intent to be distributed anywhere to anybody, and I'm done. And that's the truth. So if I tell you something, you don't have to believe this, but if I tell you something, it is as true as I understand it. Period. I can't lie. I can't. I can, but I know what awaits me if I do. Because I'm only in grace, man. You know, that's all I have. And I'm humbled and honored by that. So I'm going to stop now. It's not that I'm getting emotional or anything, but now I'm yakking. So I have to practice what I talk about as well. I'm not outside the boundaries with that. You see, I hear something about the presidential election thing. What if? Just close your eyes for a minute. What if? Imagine a huge, like, wonderland with the open fields and groves and big castle in the background and, you know, all those cute flags or whatever that don't represent anything, by the way. They're just colorful flags. We don't have the red, white, and blue or the, do you know what I mean? There's no separation and unity. But, and out walks the leader, you know. And when he comes out, everybody just kind of claps, and then it gets quiet, and they all bow their heads, you know, to him. And then he takes it in, and he in turn bows his back to them. For you see, a true servant of the people, president-elects, don't stand over them and talk down like you're all that. You get behind them and you walk with them. What about a president that ain't got to have the fucking Secret Service because they're full of fucking secret dirtbag shit? What about that? Think about that one. You know why they have the Secret Service? Because they got so many goddamn secrets. They have to kill people to keep them quiet. There's your truth. What about a leader that walked among you, side by side with you, and no matter what or where you were at, he would be there for you in the flesh, in person, to help you to maintain so that you stay on the level with everyone else. That's a leader. What if they were just trusted servants and there was no government? That's something to think about. Thank you for listening.